those same documents would go to the embassy.
Look at the brochure and then you'll see the schools that offer that.
One, he was going to study accountancy and he was going to study law.
I'm very excited to welcome you to this episode of my career story. Hello and welcome to this episode of my career story. Our goal is to help young Africans make informed learning and career decisions. Thank you so much for your feedback, shares, and likes. We really appreciate you. So if you have been searching for information about opportunities to study abroad, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to have a conversation with an experienced guest who will be taking us on how to access study opportunities in China. You're welcome, Mr. Victor.
Oh, thank you so much, Steph, for having me.
All right, thank you. So I'll read his bio so we know a little more about him. Mr. Omodolapo is an IT system cloud engineer with over 2 years work experience in the information security, power and NGO industries, with a handful of professional certifications under his belt. He bagged his BTech computer engineering degree with first class division at Ladoke Akintola University of Science and Technology, Ogbomoso. He graduated with MSc Computer Applied Technology from Shanchung University of Science and Technology, China, with an Outstanding Student Award. Omodolapo is a PhD researcher at the School of Software Engineering, Northwestern Polytechnical University, Xi'an, China. His current research focuses on harnessing big data, graph theory, and machine learning techniques for information security solutions. He has received sponsorship from family, friends, and scholarships, including the Digital Jewels Care Award, Etisalat Indigenous Merit Award, PTDF, and Northwestern Polytechnical University. And he'll be showing us how we can take advantage of opportunities like this and more to study in China. It's great to have you here. So over to you. Please walk us through how to have this opportunity.
Thank you so much once again. I must say, I was amazed when you were reading that. I don't know if I'm still the same person. So thanks so much for having me. And it's a great opportunity to be here and to know about what you are doing. And without taking further time, I'd just like to put you through study opportunities in China and how people can access this opportunity. So join me as I take you through this. I'm going to take you through now. So like I said, thank you for this opportunity. I'll be going through how people can access opportunities in China. It's going to be very brief. So why should people come to China to study? China has over 50,000 years of rich culture, which has been preserved. So you can come here to experience it firsthand, and you will be able to see what it was like 5,000 years ago by yourself. Yes. And also, there is a rapid technological advancement in China, and you can not just witness it, but also take part in it if you come here to study. And China has become the third study abroad destination, according to the Project Atlas report 2019 that was released. We can see that China is now the third, following US, UK, and ahead of Canada. Also, you might want to come study in China because of networking purposes. You are not the only one here as international students. You'll be networking with many other international students as well as local Chinese students. There is also an opportunity to learn Chinese language from the locals and even in class settings. And Chinese is becoming one of the most spoken language in the world after English language now. And there are also career prospects to studying in China, such as landing jobs with multinationals. And you are assured that unlike what we have from our own part of the country or from one part of the world, you won't be having strike here. The calendar is very rigid and it has to be followed. Yes. What's the academic system like in China? This is just an overview of what it looks like. It's not so concrete. For undergraduate students, you have to spend 4 years duration, master's 3 years, PhD 4 years, and in case you are coming for a postdoc, it's going to be a minimum of 6 months. Excuse me. The medium of instruction is Chinese language or English, and you might choose this at the point of application. The grading system here is very high in terms of how they grade students. And A starts from above 90%, B is from 81 to 90, and so on. And anything lesser than 61 is a fail, and such a person will have to retake the course here in China. And there's a unique thing about China, studying in China. You have to take attendance very serious because the teachers will always take attendance. And there's always 5 to 10 minutes rest in between classes. There's always a need to rest, and the teachers will give you that. And afternoon, there is what we call wushui, which is afternoon siesta, which everybody's expected to have a rest, usually around 12 to 2 p.m. There is no activity around this period. And it's also worth noting that the age requirement might not be very hard. It can be flexible from school to school, but generally it is less than 25 years for BSc, less than 35 years for MSc, and less than 40 for PhD. However, you can confirm with your school or the school you are intending to apply to confirm if the age requirement is very flexible for you. And also, it is worth knowing that here in China, the school does not use a CGPA way of assessing students. They use CGA. CGPA assign points to probably anything less than 90 is A, that's 5 points. B, 81 to 90, that's maybe 4 points. That is the normal CGPA. But in the settings of CGA, whatever you score is what is used to calculate your total scores. So that means 91A is not as good as 99A. You have to strive for the 9900A for you to get a very good score in the very end. So you did not use 5.4 points to put your grade. Having said that, I'd like to talk about accommodation and food here. Talking about food, I know food is very important to everybody. You have the opportunity of eating at the school canteen, which is always the cheapest, and we have many students doing that. And you can also buy from restaurants, which is often around the school area. And you could also cook yourself. And most of the time, the school will always have designated areas for kitchen, such as a regular kitchen for everybody, and that kind of kitchen for halal students, that's for Muslim students. Okay, and talking about the accommodation, you can decide to live off campus or on campus. If you want to live on campus, then you can choose from a single room, double room, or a 4-in-1 room. And I must say, these rooms are always comfortable. So what are the fees that you'll be expected to pay in the course of your application or studying in China? The first is the application fee, which is usually around 400 RMB or above. This is what you pay when you're applying online to individual schools. And this price also varies based on the school. Some schools don't even charge fees, while some charge up to 800 RMB. The next fee is the acceptance fee. Whenever you are accepted into a school, they collect something called seat reservation fee, which is also the acceptance fee. It's about 1,500 RMB, but might vary from school to school. However, note that this acceptance fee is often refunded to you when you report on campus. The next is the tuition fee. Compared to what we have in other countries, the tuition fee in China is quite low, and we can see that for undergraduates is about 20,000 RMB per year. For masters, about 5,000 RMB per year. For PhDs, about 35,000 RMB per year. And we also have the accommodation. Like I said, there are single rooms, double room, and 4-in-1 room. For the single room, it's usually around 1,000 RMB per month. For the double room, it's about 600, and for the 4-in-1, about 400 RMB per month. There is also need to pay medical insurance every year. The medical insurance is particular for international students, and it is 800 per year for all international students. Individual person have to pay this. This is used for any medical emergency that you need to pay for in the course of you studying here in China. And books are not so compulsory here. Lecturers don't sell materials. They give it to you for free if it is needed. They can recommend some to you. So it's your discretion that you can use to buy, or you guys can come, or you and your friends can come together, buy one and share it. So book is at your discretion. And your personal expenses might vary. It depends on your personal spending habit and the city where you are. You cannot be in a city like Shanghai and want to spend as low as possible compared to somebody in Xi'an. So those big cities, you have to spend more on transportation, on living, on, there are certain things you have to spend on. So that's about minimum of 1,000 RMB. And RMB here is renminbi, which is the unit of Chinese yuan. And currently, the conversion is around 60 to 70. That's, about 60 naira to 1 RMB or 70 naira to 1 RMB. That's the current conversion rate, but you can confirm this with your bank. So let's talk about the admission process. The admission process starts with you applying first. And you need to know that application is usually open from November to June every year. However, if you want a scholarship to support you, you must know that the application for scholarship applicants ends by March. So you must know this date first. Having known that, the next thing is to visit prospective school, know which school offer the course you want to do. And once you know the school, then you can select the courses and know about their requirements. For master's and PhD students, they usually require a supervisor's acceptance letter, except the school does not state that. So the number 5 is to apply to the school. After you've gotten all the necessary documents available, then you make your application to the school directly. Oftentimes, it's always online. And once you make your application to the school, if you are a scholarship student, you also have to apply to CSC or your dispatching agent. While if you are a self-funded student, the next one is you have to send your application documents to school. Before the COVID era, this is a usual thing. All your application documents must be sent physically. From wherever you are down to the office of the school. However, things are changing now. Some schools might say you should put them inside one PDF and send it to them in their email. Please confirm with your school on how you should send all these application documents to them. And the next thing will be an interview or examination. Depending on the school or your course, you are going to be called for an interview or examination, or sometimes none. So be prepared ahead and be expectant. So anybody that passes the school application, passes the interview, will surely get the notice from the school and will receive their admission or registration documents. And these admission documents are what will be used by these applicants in their respective country to apply for the study visa. So this is usually between June, July, so that applicants, successful applicants can be able to apply between July, September, then travel down to China. Then you register and your study commences. So I'll be expecting you guys. This is just supposed to be an introduction about my school, and you can know more about my school if you visit study at nwpu.edu.cn. We call it NPU, but for the domain that was registered is nwpu.edu.cn. Please take note. So let me talk about scholarship opportunities. I know many people want to know about this. Yes, education is expensive, but ignorance is much more expensive. So there are scholarship opportunities that can help you study here in China. And among them is the Chinese government scholarship, which is the most popular, the ANSO scholarship for 2 specific schools, that's UCAS or USTC, provincial scholarship, and also school scholarship. I'll be talking about them shortly. The official website for most scholarships in China, is campuschina.org. And the language of instruction for most scholarship-funded applicants can be Chinese or English for masters and PhD, while for undergraduate, it is mostly in Chinese language. You need to take note of this. If you want to get a scholarship and it's going to be undergraduate studies, it's most likely going to be in Chinese. Take note of it, of this. However, for masters and PhD, they can select and choose by themselves while applying. And there are different kinds. They can be full or partial scholarship, depending on whether they give you a free round trip, tuition, medical insurance, accommodation, and monthly stipend. So let's talk about a monthly stipend of 2,500 if you're an undergraduate. So the first one is the Chinese government scholarship type A. Okay, great. Okay, great. So the first one is the Chinese government scholarship type A. It's called bilateral scholarship. So it's an agreement between the Chinese government and your country. And the person that decides in the end is the local Chinese embassy in your country. So when you are going to the website, you can find more about it here and here. As stated on the document. So what are the benefits that you get if you win a bilateral scholarship? You get free round trip ticket, tuition fee, accommodation and medical insurance waiver, a monthly stipend of 2,500 RMB for undergraduate, 3,000 RMB for masters, and 3,500 for PhD. And the process is that you first have to apply to a dispatching organization. Each country have their dispatching organization. In case of Nigeria, it is the Federal Scholarship Board. And this is the website by which you can apply to them. And the earlier the better, because they have their rounds when they do it per year. So apply to FSB, and you also have to apply on the CSC website. And once you have done these two, and the FSB selects you, then it's easy for you to contact any school you're applying to and get a pre-admission letter, which you will use to finish your application on the CSC website. And that is the end about the bilateral scholarship. The next one, I'd like to talk about the Chinese university program before I go to MOFCOM. The next one is the Chinese university program. It's very close to the type A bilateral, but in this case, it is type B. And the deciding person here is your university. They will be the one to nominate you to CSU, and CSU can decide to accept or not to give you scholarship. This is quite easy because you don't have to go through the hurdles of the federal government agency in your local country. So you can apply through the website as given there. You can go learn more information from there. However, for the Chinese university program, there is no free round trip. You have to bring yourself down to China, and once you have done, you have to take yourself back to your country. There is tuition fee, accommodation and medical insurance waiver. There is monthly stipend of the same value as the type A. And the only thing you have to do is to apply to CSC using type B and apply to your school as well. Now let's go to MOFCOM. MOFCOM is a type A scholarship, and it is only given to some specific universities, about 26 of them. The scholarship the scholarship benefit includes free round trip tickets when you are coming for the first time and when you are returning. And you get the chance to have a yearly round trip back to your country. There is also tuition fee, accommodation, and medical insurance waiver. And the stipend is 3,000 RMB for masters, 3,500 RMB for PhD. As at the time of preparing this document, I do not have information of MOFCOM for undergraduate. And usually they support between 1 to 3 years. So if your course is going to be more than 3 years, you don't even need to apply to MOFCOM. And usually they require any person applying to have work experience, either through government or a private sector. So the process is for you to apply to CSE Select Type A, and this is the agency number you are going to use. And once you finish the application on CSE, send your document to the ECCO office in Nigeria, and that is the website where you can get the information of the ECCO office. So this is going to be done and treated from the Chinese embassy in Nigeria, and you don't need to meet any local Nigerian government agency for this. Okay, so another scholarship is the ANSO scholarship for young talent. It was previously called the Cass and Twas scholarship. However, now it's no longer the Cass and Twas. And what are the benefits of this particular scholarship? You get free round trip ticket. I mean, the applicants can get free round trip tickets, tuition fee, accommodation, and medical insurance waiver, monthly stipend of 3,000 RMB for masters and 67,000 RMB for PhD. It's initially 6,000 for PhD per month. However, when they pass a particular PhD examination, they'll be getting 7,000 RMB. And for the application, you can learn more at this website and also on these schools. There are only 2 schools that can offer ANSO scholarships, so you can learn more about them following the link. Aside from these scholarships, there are also provincial scholarship. A province can be seen similar to states in Nigeria. So each province in China also offer scholarships to international students. And the most popular one is the SGS Shanghai Government Scholarship, which are the Type A and the Type B. Type A involves getting tuition, accommodation, and medical insurance waiver. Monthly stipend, that's about 3,000 RMB for masters, 3,500 RMB for PhD, while the Type B only covers tuition and insurance waiver. The process of applying to the SGS scholarship is through this particular website that you can actually go to. There is also Jiangsu Government Scholarship, Hubei Provincial Scholarship, Guangxi Government Scholarship, and Guangdong Government Scholarship, and their websites are given in the document as well. You can visit to apply and know what benefits they have. Other provinces also have their scholarships, and you can learn more from your school's website. And the final one I'll be talking about is the school scholarship. Although the CSE scholarship is the most popular scholarship, however, the provincial, the school scholarship are also very good scholarships that people often overlook. Your school will always provide 1 or 2 forms of scholarships that you can benefit from. So you could look up these schools and their scholarships, such as MPU has something called the MPU Presidential Scholarship, which you can learn more about from the link. Tsinghua University also has the Tsinghua Schwarzman Scholarship, which is given in the website. Zhengzhou University also has the Zhengzhou University Presidential Scholarship. And the benefit varies from school to school. They can be full or partial. And while some give new students at the registration point, some might give you after you've been in the school, after 1 year. So there are different kinds of school scholarships. You need to learn that from your school's website. I must say that the application materials for self-funded students or for scholarship students are the same. Although for the scholarship student, they still have to apply to the other, the scholarship body. But these documents are the same, and they include your recent passport photograph, try to make it white background. It will save you many hassle. The international passport data page, 2 recommendation letters from professors or associate professor. It is very important. Study plan, highest education transcript and certificate, acceptance letter. This is needed for PhD or master students. English language certificate. This might be optional, but if you are applying to a very competitive school, it's important you have an English language certificate. A medical form and report. There's a standard template for that. It's very popular. You can get it on your school's website. Non-criminal certificate. It's also called the police character certificate, which you can get from the Nigerian Police Force. You also can provide research papers and academic achievements, and you have to give your school the scholarship application form that you've submitted to these other bodies. So what are the tips I could give on your application? Apply across all scholarship categories. These scholarships are for different schools and different stuff, but they have the same documents. They make use of the same document. So make sure you take advantage of this and apply across all categories of scholarship. The type A, bilateral, type A, MOFCOM, type B, Chinese University Program, Provincial, and even the university scholarships. Apply across all. And also, you need to get familiar with your individual school's requirement. Individual schools have separate rules. It can be as small as when you're applying, you should upload a video. There are always different rules, something very different. Maybe just apply, upload one more document or stuff like that. There are always some little rules changing. So make sure you are very familiar with your school's requirement. And never scan your application documents with phone or cam scanner. Go to a cyber cafe and scan it properly. And the recommendation letters you'll be using to apply should come from professors or associate professors. It is important. Plan your medical and non-criminal certificate early. Usually they have validity of 5 to 6 months. So if you want to apply now, it is best to get your certificate between January and this time, which is good. But anything from last year cannot be used now because they have 5 to 6 months validity. Also, ensure that when you finish the medical form, as the template will be given, make sure that the hospital you went to, they stamp on the photograph, on your passport photograph in front, and also on the doctor's signature at the back. And it's also important for you to check your portal regularly or your email regularly because the school will always try to communicate with you. And you know there are 7-hour difference from between China and Nigeria. You can direct any application question to the ISO, which is the International Student Office. Excuse me. The next one is study visa holders are not eligible to work in China. Please take note of this. Unlike the West, you cannot come to China and want to study and work. No, you are coming here to study. They want you to study well. You're only here to study. Whether you are self-funded or a scholarship student, it doesn't matter. Study visa holders cannot work in China. So you come here, study, and when you are done, you might be able to change your visa from a study visa to a working visa. That's fine if you get a job. But you cannot study and work at the same time. It is illegal and you might be sent home for this. Attendance and class performance are checked periodically. There is a high premium placed on attendance and class performance. And like I said, 90 is where A starts from. And 99A is different from 19A. So it is important you are always abreast of what is going on in your class and your performance. And there's also the China Great Firewall. That is why many of us from China cannot make use of WhatsApp, Gmail, and stuff like that. So you have to mentally prepare yourself and know that. However, there are equivalents in China that you can use. And also, when you are applying to China, you must have had information from many agents and everything. Beware of fraudsters. Be sure you can confirm that those agents are authentic. Because yes, there are authorized agencies that work with schools. So just like I said, this is the admission process, and these are the admission documents. Please take note of them. While you are selecting schools, you can decide to select based on the top universities in China, according to the Shanghai ranking, the website is giving, or you can go to the CSE website directly and select based on your course of study, and they are going to recommend schools for you, to pick from. So in case you need an academic agency, here is a form you can fill. And once you fill this form, an agency will surely get back to you within 24 hours and they'll be able to help you with your application. However, I strongly suggest you go through this information yourself, understand and apply by yourself. In case you want to connect with me or an initiative I also run called Civil Card Study in China, you can follow the website or reach out to me directly. So I think that is all from my end. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been really, really informative.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate all effort you put in preparing for the presentation. Like you said, if you want more information, maybe you want to attend more classes or hear the stories of people who have studied in China and connect with them, you can click on the link to join his WhatsApp group or to participate in the next training. We'll be having Victor on this show later this year, and he'll be sharing his story with us, how he started from his teen years up until now that he's doing what he's doing. So if you want to get updates about upcoming interviews and help us reach more people, please subscribe to Luxnia Media on YouTube and like and share this video. Thank you. Bye for now.
Yeah, goodbye. Thank you.